everyone, this is Mandira Kharel and today I'm going to do a poem, A Thing of Beauty. This poem is written by John Keats. The poem is exclusively meant for the students of class 12. Before I start with the poem, I would like to give a brief account about the poet John Keats. John Keats was born in London in the year 1795 and died in Rome in 1821 at the young age of 25 due to illness. He was a romantic poet. After his death, he had become one of the most beloved of all English poets. He had a significant influence on the diverse range of poets and writers. Now let us do the background of the poem. A Thing of Beauty is an excerpt from his poem Endymion, a poetic romance considered to be an epic poem. It is based on Greek mythology about a shepherd named Endymion, his quest for his love Diana, and how in his quest he falls in love with her, with an earthly maiden who later turns out to be Diana herself. Keats loved nature to the extent that he almost worshipped it. Thus, nature, love, and youth constitute the main theme of his poem. The poem goes this way: A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. I will now explain the stanza to you. The poet says that the permanent nature of beautiful things mesmerizes us and gives us eternal joy. Their beauty increases with the passage of time and never fades away. For the poet, beauty is like bower. You know what a bower is? Bower is a shady place under the tree, which gives us a sound sleep full of peace and tranquility, which is good for our health. Literary devices used in this stanza. Rhyme scheme has been used. It's in a rhyme. AABBC. The last word of the first sentence, forever, sounds like the second line never. That is why it has been marked as AA. Since keep doesn't match with the first two lines, that is why it has been marked as B. Keep has the same sound like that of sleep, that is why it has been marked as B. And breathing doesn't agree with any of the four lines, so it is marked as C. Alliteration has been used. Alliteration is the use of consonantial sound at the consonantial sound, the start of two words which are in close series, like sleep and sweet. Metaphor has also been used. Bower quiet has been compared to the calming effect of a beautiful thing. I'll read the second stanza of the poem. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways made for our searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits. Explanation of the second stanza. In the second paragraph, poet suggests that every day it is the beauty that fills us with the spirit of life. It inspires us to live. That is why the poet feels that every morning we prepare a wreath of flowers that binds us to earth more strongly. According to poet, life is full of hopelessness and sadness. There is a lack of noble feelings among men. In spite of all this, some beautiful things help us to shed our sad and grim thoughts. They help us to take off the veil of gloom thus bringing about hope and optimism in our life. Some of the new words used in this stanza are morrow, which means the following day. Wreathing means surround or encircle. This can be used in a sentence. For example, I saw a black cloud writhing towards the sky. Then there is a word despondence, which means depressed, and then gloomy, sad. Some of the literary devices used in this stanza are anaphora. What is anaphora? Anaphora is a repetition of words, a repetition of phrase in the beginning of the sentence, verse, or phrases. So here, use of same word in two consecutive lines. In fact, I think there are 3 lines here. Line number, if you look at the line number 3, 4, and 5, just check the lines. Of noble nature, of all the unhealthy, and there's one more line, of the inhuman dirt. So this has been repeated. That is why it is known as anaphora. Alliteration has also been used. Use of consonantial sound at the start of 2 words which are close in series. That is, B has been initiating word B in the word band and bind, and in noble and nature. These are some of the examples of alliteration which have been used. Metaphor also has been used. Wreathing of flowery band, which is a comparison. It has been compared to beautiful things of our life bind us to the earth. Imagery, creating a sensory effect of beautiful things lined up in a string of flowery band to bind us. And inversion has been used here. Normally when we speak, when we write, we say we are wreathing a flowery band. Instead, here in the sentence, are we wreathing a flowery band? Okay, so here this type of sentence is called inversion. In order to give an effect to the line, the poet has used inversion. Third stanza. Such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon, for simple sheep and such are daffodils, with a green world they live in and clear rills, that for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season, the mid-forest brake, reach with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blossoms. The poet further goes on to describe the beautiful things present on earth. This includes sun, moon, trees, flowers like daffodils, and the rivers. Poet believes that all these things are like blessing bestowed on us, on all the creatures by earth. Kids suggest that the trees provide us with a shade, flowers with their beauty, and rivers with their coolness during the hot summer. All these manifestations of beauty are the eternal sources of joy and pleasure. Some of the new words used in this stanza. Daffodils means bright yellow flowers. Rills meaning small streams. Covered, shelter or covering. Brake means dense undergrowth or of ferns or other bush. Then there is musk rose, a wild rose with large white musk scented flowers. Literary devices used in this stanza are alliteration has been used. Use of the same thing, it's a use of consonantial sound at the beginning of 2 words which are close in series. Here in this line, sprouting, shady, and simple, as the initial letter S is repeated, and sheep, C in cooling covered. So here imagery has also been used. Trees giving shade, a growing process of daffodils with a green world they live in, clear river streams, clear reels, these are all imagery are used to compare things like beautiful things, but it has to touch your senses. So these are the things that are really sensuous. Now, antithesis has also been used. Antithesis means opposite word, like old and young. White is an antithesis of black. In the same manner, old and young has been used here. This is the last stanza of the poem. And such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead, all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens' brink. In fourth stanza, the poet intensifies the beauty by appreciating the lovely fragrance of musk roses. Then he describes the tale of mighty warriors who laid their lives for their country or for humanity. He says that these beautiful things are the gifts from God for all of us. They are like a nectar given by God to us, and these are those beauties which are immortal and give us a reason to live on this earth. Despite having so many sorrows in our life, these are the things that keep us moving. These are the things that inspire us. Difficult word meanings. Grandeur means high rank or socially important. Mighty means enormous. Immortal means never dying. And brink represents age. I hope you like this poem. This poem is so apt in today's world full of complexities and busy schedule, where nature is the ultimate healer. And we substantially are the part of this natural world. Our lives, therefore, becomes a little dimmer when we don't take the time to enjoy it. Learn to appreciate its essence and you will get eternal joy. This is the message for all of you. So we've come to the end of this poem today. I'll wind it here. We will meet again with so many questions and answers to be discussed about this poem, A Thing of Beauty. Till then, stay safe, be happy.